Put me in your heart, put me in your soul, and I'll never be left all alone. Things ain't right, doesn't mean they're always wrong. Hi. Sorry guys, I am getting us set up here. Getting us quiet. All right, here we go. Hugo, Codier Lette, Robert White, Rachel Powell, Davy New Under God, good day. Richard Gladden, Jerry Collins, Heather Corey, Philly G, Rob O'Brien, Botox Rocks, Mike Randall, The Hairy Beastie, DM Cash, Larry Hughes, Ron Sheps, Sheps, I think, did I do it? Sheps. Draco 666, Chad Smith, Hauntings by Design, Stanley S, Head Static, Corey Jeffries, howdy. That's a good solid Texas greeting. All right, so that is the hellos. And let's go get a tripod because me holding the camera like this is bunk, as they say. No one says bunk anymore, I don't think, actually. Hello, James Minnick. I got it. Finally, that's one in a row. That's one in a row of me getting your name right. Yeah, you guys are going to need some battery power of some kind. And, oh, I did. I charged one. Yes, I did it. I'm not always good at charging stuff, but these little battery packs are very helpful. Hello, everybody. Hey, kids. King Beady Eye Brat, James Minnick, Scott Colehart, who's going to be here in like a couple days. It's so awesome. I'm so excited about Monster Camp. I think I'm more excited about Monster Camp than the people who come to Monster Camp are excited about Monster Camp. And Lindy Vito, Cobwebs and Candlesticks is joining us. Nate Slankard. Okay, yes, you are on TV. And you know what? Now you're on TV again. You're right there. All right, so we have to go in here for a moment. Oh, you know what? We also have to grab a grabber because what we're getting is up high. I have a minor grabber addiction. Yes, there'll be painting tonight. There will be all kinds of stuff. Cobwebs, you just unboxed some things. Please forgive me. Did we send you some things? I just make what my wife tells me to make. Okay. You did catch me live again. Anybody who doesn't normally catch me live, hello. This is what we do. I have so much crap right now. Like this is my area of shame. See all this stuff? I need to get this cleaned up, and I got to do it before Monster Camp. I don't want y'all coming here thinking I'm some kind of a slob. I'm not a slob. I make a lot of stuff, and I don't know where to put it. Like I got these big old wings. It's a miracle I can get anything done around. This one's good. Okay. Seen too many romantic dreams. Going on the silver screen. Okay. Walk backwards. Let's see. This is your first, but you're new. Awesome. Groot Frankenstein? Do you mean one of my old tree creature masks? Yes, those are boots, actually. Those are EVA foam boots that I use for stilt costumes. So those are waiting to get skins or get dressed. As okay. In the before times, before like COVID hit, I used to sell a lot of stilt costumes. And now I don't sell a lot of $1,500 stilt costumes. Now I sell a lot of $100 and $200 and $300 masks. So it's just a different business model. That's all. Hello, Pole Jim. Just introduce your adult sons to your channel, and they are thrilled. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. That's so awesome. Hollow Week. That would be awesome. That'd be very good. I've decided that the week of Halloween, I'm going to work on my Beastman costume. And I'll do live videos with it, but I want to do something for me. I want to make myself the Beastman costume that I have wanted for a while and just haven't set aside the time to do it. A Gravedigger I will not be working on tonight. I'll work on a Gravedigger tomorrow is my plan. In the before times, yes, back when, pre-COVID. COVID changed the world, Okay, so all right. I'm talking to the person with the drop bear as their icon picture. Is your name? Is it Calicia or is it KLCIA, like a secret government organization of terrible tasting vegetables? KLCIA, or is it Calicia, or is it something else? If you could phonetically write out your name, that'd be awesome. Because I want to address you properly, as opposed to, hey, you drop bear. That would be inappropriate. But I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Blank of Thor, hello. Boonha 2001, hello. That's a sweet devil you got there. Okay. And sorry about that. Yes, Beastman, Gravedigger is coming. Suffering from Allen withdrawals. You know what? So 2 days of the time we've spent apart, I was driving, and my intent was to go live last night. We had no internet. We had no internet yesterday from like 12:30 in the afternoon until, well, I went to bed at 3 a.m. I still didn't have any internet. So the AT&T fiber was down in our neighborhood. Wub wub wub. Philip Przewalski, did I say that right? Philip Przewalski. Hello. I am live streaming again. I'm going to make some stuff. Hello, Hester Manor. How much would one of my masks be in UK money? It depends on the mask. And they are like your money used to be like worth way more than ours. I think it's a lot closer now. So I don't know, like probably still in the $100 neighborhood, but you have shipping, which is more. So shipping for you is like at least, 60, 70 bucks American money. Still to the best, Haunting by Design. I highly recommend them. They're a great skill to put in your haunted house actor toolbox. You would cry if you got to go to Monster Camp. Well, come on. Your Botox would be good for your puffy eyes after crying. Kalisha. Okay. Kalisha. I can do that. And then when my wife is going to be here soon to read comments, when she comes, I will, I'll teach her your name. Kalisha. It's like bye Felicia, but it's Kalisha. Great. New sub, Brandy Tamplin, hello. That's great. And you all are saying hi to each other. Shauna Ferguson, hello. Yeah, so right now the channel is growing. We're growing maybe by like middle of next week, I'll be at 50,000 subscribers. I was at 42, 43 for a long time, but just things are happening. I've had a couple of good videos under my belt, just because I've spent more time on them, you know. Thanks, COVID. Like, really, thanks, COVID. So, you know, it's growing the channel. More people are being exposed. What's funny is that brings out some haters who are like, this guy's an idiot, because YouTube is just saying, hey, maybe you'll like this. And they're like, no, we don't. So that happens. Blue Barrel is coming. The Blue Barrel, I'll do it this week. This week, this Wednesday is a Blue Barrel project, I promise. All right, there's the fiber in your hood. Live Stream City. Hello, Bruce Kraft, Angie Rogers. I'm live. I'm live, it turns out. I go live a lot. I go live more than I make regular videos. Bridget Taylor, hello. Tonight's going to be a mask night. Hi, Rachel. And I'm just trying to get caught up here. Oh, I'm very glad that you guys loved that haunted house that you went through. Great. Now, I always gain a couple thousand followers in September and October. That's normal, but this is a little bit double normal. But you know what? I've been working very hard at this all through COVID, so that's good. The dogs are with the wife, and they're going to be over when she comes over. I'm sure they'll come. Whenever she's in the house, there's a chance that she might be doing something with food. That trumps hanging out with Dad any day for the doggos. Okay, I feel caught up. Party mix barrel, cool. Gummy bears, yes, but not Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Or you can have Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, just don't eat the whole bag, because that will lead to gastrointestinal disaster. I love your werewolf video, Cobwebs. Yes, I too enjoy the werewolf video. Stanley, I spray it on. When you spray it on, you don't get it as soaky as you do with the brush. So I spray it on. Carpetbagger. I did not know about Carpetbagger, but that's very cool. And you are Der Crazy House? This is Der Crazy House? Is that how I say your name? Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm wearing a Siberian fox pelt on my head. It makes me feel fancy. Well, that's great. Hello, Jake Farmer. Less monsters, more of Shannon's food. That's what the dogs say, Jake. Very cool. We went to Universal's houses. Tell us how they were. Well, 52, there was a point in time when I had 52 subscribers. And now I'm pushing on that 50,000. So keep at it. And do you post more videos in a week than me? Because if you do, then you should speak to YouTube. Just write them a strongly worded letter. That's right. Okay, so Corey, what happens is I've been going live all the time since March, like 5 nights a week. And I'm still kind of on that schedule unless I'm traveling for haunted houses or whatever. And we're talking about cobwebs and candlesticks as werewolf video, because a lot of other very talented YouTubers, I am blessed to have them come and hang out on my channel. And so we're talking about cobwebs and candlesticks as werewolf video. And if you click on him, you can find his channel. It's the wife. Hello, wife. I am drowning. I haven't been able to do a thing because I cannot keep up with comments. Wife is going to save me by reading comments. And there's only 94 of you, but we have a very active 94.
Well, we were supposed to be on last night.
Ron Sheps says hello, wife. Rachel Powell says hello, wife. Everyone says hello, wife.
Hi. Hello, hello. Greetings. All right. I was doing dishes. Not sexy.
Tim, I'm really live right now. I don't understand channels that do live videos that are actually pre-recorded videos. I hate that. We're live right now, Tim. If you have a question, I will answer it. You type it in there. My wife's going to read it. Thank you. Say, wife, you're about to say hi. Hello. And then you can catch Bella about to drink out of the toilet. Oh no, she's done. Okay. Personal moment.
All right.
I'm going to get to work now. Now, if your questions go unanswered, it's all my wife's fault. It's not my problem anymore. I passed the buck onto the wife, and I'm going to make some monsters.
Hang on, guys.
Which is what I am here for. Mayhaps not what you are here for. We have Plastic Ninja is here. Yes. So tonight, if you did not bother to read the title, I'm going to work on a boar mask, a Krampus mask, a Wolfman mask, and I'm going to try to finish up the Gibbering Mouther mask. And yes, that's what I think I'll have time for tonight.
All right. Hey, everybody.
And I think I'm caught up.
Jake Farmer's here with us.
Jake is here.
Corey Jeffries. Hey, wife, tell him I said he is great. All right, there you go.
Who said that?
Corey Jeffries.
Thanks, Corey.
Botox Rocks. Hello. Cobwebs. And Caleb Mercer, the voice of Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello.
Hello.
Jake said it was a cop-out because we had a pizza night.
Yes, it was a cop-out, but it was a wonderful, delicious cop-out.
That's fine.
I love pizza.
Can you say happy birthday to my daughter, Olivia? She turns 12 tomorrow. This is from Jennifer. Say hello to Olivia, who turns 12 tomorrow.
No.
Do it.
Yes. Happy birthday, Olivia. How's that?
Jake wants banana pudding.
Oh, so do I now. Thanks for bringing that up.
Says, I want to make an old carriage hearse, and I need a horseman.
I would court somebody to make a nice horseman, or you could use a pool noodle body like I showed in a video. So this is a EVA foam helmet. I'm going to make a Krampus, and I like to use EVA foam helmets for them because it just helps stabilize the horns and stuff, and I can run wiring on it.
Plastic Ninja wants to know, did you catch famine on the trio cake?
I haven't caught anything right now.
Mike Butcher wants pumpkin pie.
Remember yesterday I had no actual internet all day.
Ian Pash, I used a spirit goat skull and sculpted foam clay on top. Will it bond, or do I need to cement the clay?
Foam clay is pretty good about bonding, but it's better if you encapsulate the whole thing in foam clay, because then it bonds to itself and it kind of makes its own skin. I don't know how much you put on, so probably some kind of a cementy layer would not be a bad idea.
Mike from Halloween says I made an 11-foot demon skeleton thing. It's cool. I also made a cemetery arch. Cool, one, flame, bold things. That's pretty.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry, Plastic Ninja. He said, sorry, I was having a side conversation with cobwebs. That's okay. Stone Farmer says, Paula Dean makes a great not your mama's banana pudding.
Yeah.
Rachel would like to know, how is your October challenge going?
Well, I gotta find out what today's is and try and work it in.
Hey, Scott Colhart.
Luckily, I make monsters all the time, so normally it's like, okay, this monster's coming up, I'll work out one of those. So, it's not too terrible.
Stone Farmer, I do a firehouse banana pudding.
Her banana pudding, listen, it's the best in the world. There's a reason why I'm a very fat man. I'm not as fat as I used to be, but nor am I wasting away to nothing. That has a lot to do with my wife's delicious cooking and my inability to stop eating it.
Trad's Garden and Trash Haunted Yard says hello.
Hello.
Hauntings by Design. Okay, now my son Jason wants to know, what is the exact type of clay you use for your sculpting?
I use what is called wet clay, which is a water-based clay. And I'll be doing a live video on Wednesday where I am sculpting.
Let's see. Tara Pitchford, hello.
Hello.
Tara says, I'm new to the channel. I'm loving what I've seen so far.
Okay, so my channel kind of has two parts, all right? There are the weekly videos, which are obviously pre-recorded, edited, and all. So this is mostly masks, and on the week videos, the Wednesday videos, I try to do things that anybody can do and get a hold of, and I don't worry about that so much during the week, during live feeds, because this is my business, and I'm going to use the best material for the job, whether you have to order it from Bangladesh or not.
Madam Satan says, what brand of scissors or shears do you recommend for cutting foam?
Foam. Okay, do you mean EVA foam? What kind of foam? There's 80,000 types of foam. However, what I recommend for almost everything are these Tandy leather shears right here. With these, I can cut paper, and then I can cut Abraham Lincoln out of a penny, and then I can cut paper again. These guys are awesome. So these shears from Tandy Leather, these happen to be the Al Stolman leather shears, but they don't have pointy tips, and they're all metal, and they're lovely. So I'm going to have to do some wiring tonight too, so I'll be wiring up this Krampus. I might not do it tonight, I might do it tomorrow, we'll see. But this is a mask. I've cut out one eye, I've not cut out the other eye.
All right, yeah, EVA foam with a question on the shears.
Yes, these scissors right here. If you're going to use scissors, it's this. If you're not going to use scissors, and I normally recommend using a blade, I really love this Roberts carpet cutter, which is found at Home Depot in the flooring section. And there's a blade there, and the pack of like 100 blade pack is like 15 bucks. But each blade gives you 4 corners that you can unscrew this piece and flip it around 3 other times.
Tim Kewen, have you done a video on the positive pen form that you use to make your masks?
Yes, I did. It's called a Plaster FX bust.
Dreamed by Arlene. Good evening. I love these streams to watch while I make stuff.
You know what? And I love your name, Dreamed by Arlene. Isn't that pleasant?
Yes.
That just makes me happy. It's a good name.
Ron Schweppes, almost done with our giant weeping angel. Just gotta make the wings.
Wow, awesome. That's cool.
Micro Halloween. Any ideas for cool cobweb spider scenes? I have a cooned dude and a jumping spider from Spirit and cobwebs, of course. What else could I do to make it even better?
So is this something that people are traveling through, or is it something that they're walking by? So is it a scene or is it a set? That's my question for you, and then I can give you ideas based on that. But right off the top of my head, I didn't hear you say any spider egg sacs. I love to see spider egg sacs, especially put something in there like a shiatsu massager, so the egg sac will... What's that? And I buy my shiatsu massagers at the thrift store because of who I am as a person and my normal level of operational cheapness.
Cobweb says, my hair cutter girl thought I had lice today, but it turned out it was just yellow black light paint.
Nice.
Mike
Nice.
Randall, I love the way you have your big soda. I'm never in my shop without a Pepsi with an arm's reach.
This is Coke Zero, but I feel you. Something about how I am made, I am thirsty all the time. I drink...
Now they're going to think you have diabetes.
I don't. I drink 4 or 5 gallons of liquid a day.
You panic when you don't have drink.
I do. I panic when I don't have a beverage.
But you don't drink alcohol.
Actually, I don't weigh much. This is all just fluids.
Let's see. Plastic Ninja says beef netting makes awesome webbing. Lisa Hall says no.
Beef netting. Beef netting, and you get that from Trenton Mills. That does make a nice base netting. They are correct.
That's Plastic Ninja.
It's a Plastic Ninja.
Bull Jim says, remember when you said save wrapping paper to stuff bodies? Well, I made my family crush and cap water bottles to stuff, and it worked out great. Thanks for coming to your wife. You're welcome.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You know what? Think about one of the coolest things that I have discovered in the last 15 years is something called industrial waste. Now, while the concept of industrial waste, it conjures up chemicals that you're dumping into the river, but it's so much more than that. It is, there's an industry, and that industry, they use these products, and that means they're going to throw away these things. For a long time, there was a warehouse that repaired medical equipment, and when they had pieces shipped to them, they always had 4-inch thick upholstery foam in 2-foot by 4-foot sheets, and that's what they padded the machines with. I got all this free upholstery foam because they just threw it out. But it's so many things that the industry uses, and then to them it's garbage, but to us we can make stuff with it. So just like packing with packing paper or water bottles or whatever.
JLR 538 LM says hello.
Hello!
Corey Jeffries, channel freezes up here in Pennsylvania. Sorry, Atlantic broadband sucks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Dreamed by Arlene. How do you sharpen those scissors? Mine are in rough shape and I don't want to spend $80 on a new one.
Just a file. I mean, the same way I would sharpen a knife. Scissors have a grind similar to an axe, where it is only one side has the bevel on it. So honestly, YouTube, how to sharpen scissors, and you can do it. It's not hard at all. Anytime you know how to do anything, check YouTube University first.
William Sebring, hello. He is new.
Hello, William.
Have you done a Jeepers Creepers mask?
I haven't. I don't do a ton of masks that are. I don't do a ton of masks that are characters from movies. I do it some, but I don't do it. Mostly, what I do is stuff that I made up or I sculpted or whatever. And there's a lot of other great people who do Jeepers Creepers masks, so I don't feel the need to throw another one into the mix.
Larry Hughes, what is your EVA foam sealer mix again? Sorry.
Larry, I've already told you this.
He said sorry.
All right. It is 1 part contact cement to 5 parts xylene. And xylene is spelled Xylene. Xylene. 5 parts xylene, 1 part contact cement.
Queer Pass International. Greetings from Munich. Nice stuff. Hey, hello.
Hello from Munich.
Munich, that's great. Eric Luttrell. I've been trying to make a predator whip. Do you have any ideas?
A predator what?
Whip.
The predator uses a whip? So why don't you shoot me an email at stiltbestudios@gmail.com, and then I will Google the Predator's whip, and then I will figure out how to make it, and I'll tell you.
Haley Mercer says I drink that much coffee.
You're gonna die. That's a lot of coffee.
Hauntings by Design. What's your favorite milkshake?
Oh, hot fudge milkshake. That's my favorite. Make it with chocolate ice cream and hot fudge. That's the best. Followed by just a chocolate milkshake.
Cobweb says Pepsi is the breakfast of champions. Micro Halloween says the spider scene is something people walk through. Sorry, took long to reply.
Then I would make a cobweb tunnel. Like make a nice cobweb tunnel that's maybe 5 feet. Get yourself a good thermoplastic webbing gun, like glue gun, webbing gun, and boy, Jake, are you still on? You want to work with me and we can make a video on making a cobweb gun? He was there, but Jake is a busy man with things to do. I cannot assume he just waits by the TV.
He's still here. He's still signed in.
Okay, well, but anyway, We should probably do that. And that's also something I'd either love to sell in my booth or have, because there used to be a company who did it called Minions Web, and they sold a good one. Now a real good one is about $300. That's how much they cost. Because you're going to use a high-end glue gun, that's about $100. And then you have to do the actual work. So about $300 is what I would expect them to be. Man, they're so worth it.
Notifications.
Sorry. Dark Hour does not actually own one. Dark Hour has mine that they borrow forever. Okay, I believe I've turned off notifications.
Dent, Arthur Dent. I made 2 sets of the cool noodle wings. I make a second pair because a-hole stole the first pair when I set them outside to finish frying. Oh.
That means they were awesome. That means that they were great. That means people like them.
Hello, Lisa Art.
I've had the same thing happen. I had a mask get stolen that I set outside to dry, and they stole it.
Creative Spartan says, it's not YouTube Wednesday.
No, this is live. This is one of my live videos. So I'm live about 4 or 5 nights a week. So this is a Wolfman 2020 blank that I'm going to paint tonight.
Cobweb says the target has an 85-inch Cobra skeleton that would make a good fit. Hauntings by Design says, thank you because I still owe you a milkshake at either Transworld or Midwest Conference.
Sweet.
Edwina Kaufman says, I will argue that milkshakes, the best milkshake is obviously chocolate banana.
Well, now see, that is, you can't say that that's the best. You have to say that I like. Because as soon as you say you get into flavor, that's an opinion, and other people might like a jalapeno milkshake better. Not I, said the pig, but I don't really care for red wine. My wife loves it. I don't think she's wrong for liking it. It's just we have different tastes.
This is from Scum Will Rise.
Scum will rise.
Scum Will Rise.
Sweet.
My mom and I love your channel. Great job, brother.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that.
Can you make a Freddy Claw? Asks Hayden Clark.
Can I? Yes, I can make a Freddy Claw. Now ask, will I?
SBC says hello. Joshua Kane, you mentioned before about an old Dawn Post video where they are pulling full masks out of one-piece molds made by using a foam-filled latex mask. What are the pros, cons, and limitations of this?
Well, one-piece molds are good if, there's no, like I had to, you guys didn't see it because you weren't here. When I pulled this out, there's 2 pieces that come together. There's a seam, and you can actually see the seam really well right now because my airbrush just highlighted it. And if you look right here, you can see where these 2 halves of the mold come together. And if you have a one-piece mold, you don't have any seams. So that is the big advantage.
Will you make one?
No. No, I will not. I don't make a lot of movie props. There's a lot of people out there who make Freddy gloves. And I don't want to.
Jordan Weasel says, why do you always base your pieces in gray?
I base it in black, and it looks gray until it dries, because that is how a lot of latex paint works. It gets darker as it dries. Think about the color red. If you buy latex house paint in red, it looks pink. This is the wrong color. They give you the wrong color, and then it dries and it's red. And you're like, okay, I was wrong. So this looks gray until it dries. It dries black. I base it in black so I can dry brush, use a lighter color on top of it, and then I can have black stuff in my depths, and it does a lot of my shading for me. It's a good high contrast paint technique.
Skin and Bones says, hey everyone, we are at Not Scary Farm for the taste of Halloween.
Awesome. I'm
What's
so
that?
glad to hear that.
What is that?
It's an event that Not Scary is doing because they're not doing See You in the Fog.
That sounds...
It does sound awesome.
Oh. I love your skeleton in a can video.
Thank you. I like that one too.
Ooh. 3x Ireland says, I love Halloween folk art. Me too. Botox rocks. I love knots so much. Me too.
I am a wolfman now, I'm black.
Tim Coon says, I bought a web gun at Home Depot after Halloween last year that works good. I tried it out at work and covered my cobwebs toolbox in webs. Only thing was, management did a tour the next day.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tim.
And the one at Home Depot is okay. That's like a web blaster, I think. They're okay, but they just won't shoot cobwebs at the level at which I want to shoot cobwebs. But I'm not a waiter.
Harry Fullbaum III. Hello, Alan. It's been a long time. Do you ever make it to San Antonio?
I have family who lives right outside of San Antonio. So every now and then we do. It's not super often. Normally I make it up further north rather than more south in Texas.
Botox rocks. Guess what, Alan? I bought my first heat gun, the one you suggested, a $15 one from Harbor Freight.
Sweet.
Botox rocks says I haven't found any pool noodles yet, but only time will tell. Caffeine Queen, I'm making a weeping angel, but I do not have the pipe for the wings. Any suggestions on what else to attach?
That could be anything, you know. Yeah, that could be anything. Well, you don't have that pipe. Could just go get some pipe. I mean, that would be very easy. Could actually use pool noodle. Attach the pool noodle in the same way. It has a little bit of flop to it, but it's strong enough to hold up wings.
Lamo Mingo says, saludos a todos de Sede Mexico. Hello from Mexico.
Okay, for a second, I thought you were like reading off of the Book of the Dead. You were going to say, Klaatu, Barata.
Stone Farmer says I made a web shooter out of a DeWalt hot glue gun and it worked great.
Yes, I like even a higher end glue gun than that. That's okay. That's a solid little glue gun.
JLR, you should come to Halloween Town in Oregon.
I should.
We'd love
Sounds
to.
like you're correct.
Karen Phillips. Hi, I'm a 70-year-old lady and I love watching you. Thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you.
When are you coming to Kentucky?
When someone pays me.
You just drove through Kentucky.
Yeah, I actually just drove through Kentucky. 'Cause I had to go to North Carolina. Come on in here. We're going to go LED shopping. Oh, man.
Caffeine Queen says I made the wings out of black foam wood.
Cool. Red. I got that. Speaker wire, check. Stripper, check. Battery lead, check. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. Did you say anything, wife?
No, I was waiting for you to come.
Good. I could not have heard you. I couldn't have heard of you.
George Easel, I'm working on an Ipso-Cyrus mask. You know what he looks like. Will you please make a life-size one yourself? I may ask more than once.
Jordan is warning me.
Jordan is
He is warning me.
classic Jordan.
You may ask more than once.
It's a standard operating Jordan procedure.
You may see. You want an Ipso-Cyrus man. I don't want one, so I'm not going to make one. If you want one, and maybe you want to make one, Or maybe you want to pay me to make one, and then I will want to make one.
You've already made him a mess.
But right now, I don't want to make one. So, I every now and then, I get, not every now and then, like once a week, I'll get someone who's like, hey, can you make this on a YouTube video? And then I'll message them like, I could, is that, I mean, they're like, well, I want to make one, but I want to see how you make it first so that then I can make one. And I understand that. But in all honesty, a lot of what I do is I teach techniques. So I've probably already taught you the techniques to make whatever it is that you're doing. You just have to change a couple little things around. So.
Vid says, hey, I love your videos. Is there any way to make a head cast of yourself by yourself?
A head cast, no. Anything I would tell you would put you in a danger category. So I'm going to say no, you cannot do that by yourself. But I'm also going to say that I have a video of making a plaster effects bust that you can pad out to the size of your head, which would be close. It's not going to be a head cast, it won't be good for prosthetics, but it's great for mask making.
Caffeine Queen says, I have cool noodles, that'll work. Thank you. I'm going to send you a picture of my monsters inspired by you.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Hugo says, hello. It's always good to have Hugo.
Hello, Hugo.
Stone Farmer, the DeWalt is the highest quality one we carry in store. Can only store and use what we carry.
I hear you.
Old Jim says, wow, they stole dude's wings. That is why I love this channel. I have learned to make huge and amazing things from mostly trash.
Yeah. Take these gosh darn wings, and then you'll drive away. Damn it, dang wings. Sorry, that was free-form songwriting by me.
Let's see. Hayden Clark made an Assassin's Creed retractable blade. It's awesome, and I am only 12.
That is very cool. Don't stab anyone.
You see, Jordan, did I say something wrong here?
Okay, I tell you what. Listen, Hayden. A lot of people say, you know, when they say, I'm 12, I made this weapon, they say don't stab someone. I'm going to give you some straight up good advice. If you think that you're going to stab someone, do it now while you're young. Because odds are at 12, you won't be like charged as an adult. So your prison time will be way less. Being 12, you probably won't do very well in prison. But you won't spend as much time there as you would if, like down the road, you stab someone when you're, let's say, 17. Yeah, then you're going to real big boy jail. So get all your stabbing done early.
Milton Knowles, the Insane Witch King. Which is your favorite Star Wars character? Mine is Captain Kirk. And
Hold on,
which is
wait,
your
what?
favorite Star Trek character? Mine is Jar Jar Binks.
Okay,
Exactly.
ladies and gentlemen, we have a troll. We have a troll. I don't know. Any one of the Klingons would be my favorite Star Trek character because they're the closest to the Wolfman. And that's really what it's all about with me. And then Star Wars, Wampa is my favorite. See, I like Wampa.
Better than the Sarlacc?
I like the Rancor monster. I just purchased and got a full-size Salacious Crumb from a friend of mine who sent me a Salacious Crumb that he made one, and it's lovely. Maybe I'll go grab it and show you guys later. Which my wife is all for that idea because then maybe it'll stay in the shop for a while instead of the living room.
I'm the
She is the coolest wife ever.
Cobweb says, I'm going to force Dave at the Weird Kids show to sculpt an Oopla the Mock mask.
Heck yes, Oopla the Mock.
Jordan says, you break my heart, Al. Please make it for us. I'll pay you.
Would you like to purchase a mask? Then email me about a custom order. Okay? And we will talk about it.
Gene Sanford says, I trapped my face in plaster when I was 9. I didn't know about the release.
Yeah, that's something you should learn, you know, earlier rather than later in life.
Stone Farmer says, please don't make ALEXA add anything to my shopping list today.
I guarantee nothing.
Al Matra, hello from Jerry and I. Glad to get to spend my post-birthday night with everyone. Gene Sanford says, I was by myself. It's no good. Always get a helper.
Yeah.
Big Monkey Fez. Who would have thought we would have Learn prison advice tonight.
I was wondering if everybody's going to call me on that.
Milton Knowles says, I love asking you that question to wind up people in a nice way.
Yeah, and you know what? So I said Wampa, but Rancor Monster is one of my favorites. I'm one of those rare guys. My favorite Star Wars movie is actually Return of the Jedi, not Empire. Most guys like Empire the most. I like Return.
Cobweb says, Juvie sucks. I heard it on the internet.
What sucks?
Juvie.
Juvie, yeah.
Tina,
I went to juvenile school for one semester. Yeah, I used to get in a lot of fights. I used to love fighting. Yeah, oh, I still love fighting, but now I'm much more controlled.
Tina Kusiak says, did Alan sneak into the shopping today? What did you sneak into shopping today?
No, I didn't. I think they're talking about my Alexa list.
What?
I think they're talking. They're talking about from the Creepers page.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not go shopping today. But yesterday I got a new little Beastman toy and I got an Alien Queen toy because I got the Alien Queen because I want to repaint it. I just can't let it hang out and live and be purple.
Cobweb says, hands down, Tauntaun all the way.
You know what? I like Tauntauns. I have a sordid history with Tauntauns. I made a Tauntaun stilt costume for Disney in Orlando for their back when it was Star Tours weekend. That was fun.
Jordan says, why do you never show fan submissions on YouTube? Some of us don't have Twitter.
I don't do anything on Twitter really, but I mean it's difficult because like you're there and I'm here, so that's why. Like this isn't the format. Like that would be more of an Instagram thing, and that'd be more of an Instagram thing. That would be. I mean, I do have a whole Facebook group dedicated to the work that you guys do, called Stilt Beast Live Creepers Facebook page. Have a whole page for it. So this is just not the forum for it. And yeah.
Where is the strap monkey right now?
The COVID monkey? He's in the living room, hanging from a ceiling joist. We have a log cabin, so there's a lot of beams, and he's hanging by his tail from the beam.
Lisa Hall, what we have learned tonight is do not send your kids to Alan for advice without supervision.
It's probably best.
Gene Sanford says, thank God I used straws. I had to hit my face with a hammer. I lost eyebrows and eyelashes.
Dude, you really failed hard at that.
Jordan says, my little brother was sent away a year ago. He has depression issues.
Yeah, I did too, but luckily I channeled mine into good things.
Milton Knowles says, you said one episode that your shop has all the ingredients for McDonald's chicken nuggets in it except one. Could you make them on an episode for us? My nephew really loves them.
No, I won't.
The Harry Beastie says, my girlfriend got a Salacious Crumb plush and put it at the end of my bed. I think it was her way of telling me to lose weight.
So you look at her and you reach over the nightstand and you grab a frog out of its little aquarium and you eat it and you say, Bokawa Wookie, Bokawa Jedi, oh, 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 oh.
Jordan asks, you pray for his brother.
Okay, I can do that.
Angie Rogers says, do the virus of 2020 work looks like a prison with a social plexiglass on the tables because we all had so many cases.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Mike Cook says, I just saw Pumpkinhead for the first time and I loved it.
Good. It's a good movie.
Gene Sanders says, the panic set in. The panic.
Yeah, you gotta worry about that
Hello,
panic.
John C. Stevenson Cemetery says, I went shopping today. Home Depot has a gallon of Elmer's glue, all for $7.40, and I bought all of it.
Nice. I use that glue for my blood quite a bit.
Stone Farmer making a Halloween costume UFO console for work from heat pump. What works to seal it so I can spray it with metallic rattle can paint and not heat it?
Elmer's glue. Paint it with Elmer's glue.
Oh,
Funny
yeah.
that we just talked about Elmer's glue, but
Do
yeah.
you have a Patreon so folks can pay you for specific demos or techniques?
Not right yet. I'm working on it. I'm too busy to work to get money from people in an organized way. Does that sound ridiculous or what?
You don't have time to take money?
I don't have enough time to ask people for money. But so we're working on it. Stacy is working very diligently, but she has had some. She has a. It's October, you know, so we have projects that pop up, and I will probably start the most ill-timed Patreon ever for my Halloween channel right around the 1st of November. It's just probably how my life will work out.
Gene Sanders is running around, bumping into stuff, fell down. He's still talking about it.
Dude. Yeah. And apparently he's still emotionally scarred because that happened when he was 9, you know.
A new kind of fear custom says, hey, Al.
Hello.
Rachel Powell, talking about Juvie, my youngest, ran away after his dad left. He had to go through intake at the police station. He was scared shitless at being arrested, transported, and stuck in a room all by himself.
I went, I mentioned I got into fights, so we went on a prison tour as like a Scared Straight program type thing, and it was all just kids who were bad, you know, basically, and there's maybe 20 of us, and some were girls, and no joke, half the cells we went to, the guys just started masturbating right in their cells in front of everybody. It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, it's just, you know, it's not like the rest of the world there. And yeah, it's like, okay, I have learned. I will never get caught at whatever it is I'm doing wrong. You don't ever want to get caught. Or just don't do stuff wrong. That's also very good.
Probably Brian just said $10, says, I guess this is a faux Patreon.
Huh.
Thank you, Rob. Actually, we also have a thank you. I passed right by it reading comments there. I'm fast and furious.
They are fast tonight.
Skin and Bones said, mask is looking awesome and gave $5.
Thank you, Skin and Bones. Oh, I appreciate you.
Let's see. Tweeted copies. Sorry, I'm talking about Gene Sanford. All we had before the net were photos and magnifying glasses to study from books.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Learned a lot of the wrong way to do stuff from Starlog magazine.
DM
and
Cash
Fangoria.
says, my monkey is hanging on the plexiglass screen at my wife's work. Lots of pumpkins.
That's great.
Jordan says, my movie man is like, why should I show mercy when you never did?
Wife, how's it going?
Right?
Great. Boogeyman, boogeyman. That's what I am. Boogeyman, boogeyman.
Let's see. Jordan says, he said that he was beating a 22-year-old. Gene Sanford said, changing my life, Alan. And Adam Slayton said, what did you learn? Don't get caught. $10.
That's right, don't get caught.
Glad to catch another live stream. And hey, that pumpkin power wash the other day was the best jack-o'-lantern I've ever seen.
I was very happy with how that turned out. It was just a whim. I'm like, oh, let's see what happens, and I loved it.
Kate Clark says, what's your favorite Halloween claw kill and your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street night kill?
Oh, I don't know. I know that Jason, I think it's in part 3, in the one with the hockey mask, Jason. Friday the 13th. He picks up someone in their sleeping bag and beats them to death against the tree while they're in their bag. And I just think that's got to be one of my favorites.
Alan, would shellac work to seal the pink foam too?
I think there's a danger shellac might eat the foam. It's a little costly.
Okay. Botox Ross. I was able to get 13-foot inflatable light-up plague doctor from Home Depot, originally $125, we got it for $80 because it was on display and they had to cut the cord ties on it. Dream by Orleans. I loved Creepy and Eerie and Fangoria by Vampirella. Loved all that stuff. My classic artistic father was heartbroken. Okie Dale. Hey, Alan and White. How are you?
Wonderful.
Celeste Kitty says hello.
I too enjoy all of those things you mentioned.
Gene Sanford says I made friends with all gypsum-based materials after that as a lesson. Hey, Jones. Ken Zarish. Kane Hodder came up with the sleeping bag kit.
Did he?
Jones.
I didn't know that.
Sun Farmer. Okay, I'll let you know as is alcohol based. It's going on later on the Pink Phone. Cobweb says Kate was the best Jason. Rated than Rats 888. Now you don't do movie masks too much. What about a Wishmaster mask? Or your take on it? That would be great.
There actually is a couple good Wishmaster masks out there. There's already some good ones. So.
Yeah, we have to stand up here. Hayden Clark says he's a cannibal.
Okay. Well.
Hayden, aren't you 12?
Hey, cannibals are both.
Okay. Yes, I'm here, Jonesy.
It's good to know what you like.
Jonesy is here having a standoff with Jenkins by the fence.
Yes.
Talks Rocks. Have you ever seen the French film High Tension?
I have heard about that. I've heard about High Tension. I haven't seen it. It's not so much a monster movie, but it is that drawn out tension that they're so good at, and I like monsters. I just want monsters. I'm a simple man.
Gene Sanford says magazines still rock. Robert White wants to know if he hears Jonesy. You do. Tina Kaufman says, when I was 6, I snuck downstairs to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was terrified of Freddy till I was 20. Now I can't get it up hard stuff.
I watched it at my cousin's house, and I was probably too young to watch it. It did scare the snot out of me, too.
Haunting by Design is back. Lost Internet. Lion Cook says Kane is awesome. Prince Goals, Insane Rich King. Somebody should buy a summer camp invited to us there and do a real life Jason. The rules of the game is if you kill Jason, you become Jason.
Yeah? That sounds pretty hard for Jason. All these dang kids trying to kill me.
Rachel Powell is still petrified about Freddy. I see you, Stone Farmer.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I have a thin piece of EVA foam, and I don't feel like taking the time to pour up a pouch for the battery, so I'm just making a quick pouch out of EVA for this 9-volt battery that's going to go on the back of the mask. See, now I've got a nice little battery holder that'll glue onto the back of the mask and hold that battery in place.
Stone Farmer, I do not see a request to join the Creepers group. But I will check it out as soon as we are done here shortly, or if I get a break here in the comments. But I do not see anything yet. Maybe it hasn't come through. But I will check. Slipknot Live. I recently subscribed to your channel. Keep up the great work.
Hooray! You sound like a band mask person.
My favorite monster drink is the Dutch chocolate, says Kim Zurish.
I don't know that one. I like the white one because it's sugar-free and I can drink it while I'm on keto. And then I used to like Chaos, which is the kind of orange one. And now this has to dry. We'll let that dry. Alexa, count down 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Let's go see if our Wolfman is dry or moist.
What is the battery going to power?
LEDs. We'll have LEDs in his eyes.
What's the name on your Facebook page?
Stilt Beast Live Creepers is the group we're talking about. But we have a Stilt Beast Studios Facebook page for the business. Now this has a few spots that are still wet. I'm going to hit that with a heat gun and dry those up. Mostly dry.
Tim says that chaos is a good one. And William Cochran says the old green one, red and blue. All sugar-free. Hayden Hawk says, what is your favorite band? Who's your favorite band?
Bon Jovi. You've never heard of them because you're 12. Ah!
You may have. You don't know.
Prove me wrong.
So Kitty says, come be a creep. One of us, one of us. Hey, thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. We'll see Scott next week.
Why do we thank Scott?
Hayden says, living on a prayer.
Oh, you have heard of them. Oh, very good.
Hugo says, impressive as Alan solves various demands with the use of any kind of hauntings by design. I love the question on the previous page. How does Alan check his heat gun?
Always with my hand. You got to make sure it's working. You know why I do that? I don't want to waste any time. Even if it's 15 seconds that I spend blowing on this, if it's not putting out heat, I don't want to waste that time. So just, okay, make sure it's hot, and then I'm not going to waste any of this time that I use doing this. I don't know. You know what, though? I also, and my wife can attest to this, I don't know if she's noticed this or not, she probably has. I don't even trust, like, blowing on my food. I don't blow on what's on my fork. I blow on my hand first, and then I move it over. So I know, A, where I'm aiming, and I guess it's left over from airbrushing. I don't know.
Milton Knowles says, Matrix, they have a red and blue pill. What happens if you take them both at the same time?
I think you stay the same.
Body geeks, are we having heat gun s'mores at Monster Camp?
Wow, that sounds so awesome. I have reheated pizza with the heat gun, and it worked better than it had a right to.
Jordan says, that red monster looks like something from Lovecraft.
Yes, it kind of is. It's based off of Gibbering Malder, which is based off of kind of a Shoggoth type thing from Lovecraft. So, in a roundabout way, the one is inspired. They both have the same source material.
What is your favorite non-horror film?
The Princess Bride. That's my #1 movie anyway.
Hauntings by Design says, Alan, you're the best. David Talema says, shout out from Washington.
Hooray!
And I went and made some great Halloween stuff. Your work is a great inspiration. And Body Geek says, inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Body Geeks will be here next week too.
That's
Ted
right.
Daughtry, would it be possible to use a power washed pumpkin as a mold? If so, what would you use to make the mold with?
Okay, so I would probably make the mold out of plaster, and hear me out, because I thought about this. What you'd have to do is you have to power wash the pumpkin as normal, and then you'd have to fill it with clay or something so that the plaster didn't go into the eyes, because then you'd have a really weird mold. So you have all these holes, and then you have to fill it up with clay to wall off the back of those, so that way it's just like a thin impression, the thickness of the pumpkin. That's fine. And then you make a one-piece mold of it with plaster. A one-piece mold. And then you power wash away the pumpkin and the clay. And then you have a one-piece mold of your pumpkin. Yeah, hands down, Princess Bride is my favorite movie ever.
The Crazy House says, I played swords over a candle. Heat gun would probably work better. Aiden Clark likes the Mandalorian.
It'll be faster.
Jake Farmer says, anyone want a peanut? And
Stop that rhyming, I mean it.
Milton Knowles says, do you come up with new ideas for monsters when you paint, when you forget to turn your ventilator on?
I always have ideas for monsters. It's never coming up with ideas. It's jumping up in the air and grabbing one floating around my head. And I always have my ventilators on. That's my secret, Captain. Jake Farmer, since you're watching now, do you want to come over at some point in time here in the shop and let's make a cobweb gun for YouTube Wednesday? And then you could put it on your YouTube channel and I could put it on my YouTube channel.
Stevenson Cemetery, can I use roofing tarp and paint it into canvas drop cloth for part of the freight? Roofing tarp says it's flexible and waterproof. Roofing tap. Do you mean tarp? Tap. Roofing tar.
Tar.
Sorry.
Yes.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
Stevenson.
I gotcha. You can, but roofing tar, it doesn't ever really solidify. The reason why it stays flexible is because it doesn't dry. Tar stays hard. Well, it stays soft. You know, you're walking you ever step on tar on a hot day? It's gummy. So I wouldn't necessarily use that on a prop because it's going to get hot when you store it, and then it'll deform. The roof doesn't really flex enough to deform the tar, but whatever fabric you're putting it on will deform in the heat, and then your tar will solidify because it cools down. No, don't do that. There's a lot of reasons why that's kind of a bad idea. I see where you're going. Go with liquid nails instead. Liquid nails is going to solidify and then be that amount of solid regardless of the conditions of the environment. Whereas roofing tar is really dependent upon the conditions of its environment.
Jake says yes, you can come over in November.
Yep, that sounds good.
John C. says we'd love to see Jake. Monkey Fez just says Jake should bring the flamethrower, and Cobweb says, isn't Jake Farmer newbie streamer kid? No, that is Jacob. Jake Farmer is my assistant director and technical director at Dark Hour Haunted House with me, and he also owns his own company called Effects to Go. And yeah. Jordan would like you to name the 3 components of a Cthulhu suit.
Of a Cthulhu suit? Well, that would be tentacles, eyeballs, and teeth.
Let's see. Hilton Knowles, do you have any advice to make an old gray steel filing cabinet look spooky?
Put body parts in it. Fill it with terrifying things, or just label it. Like label the top drawer clowns, the second drawer spiders, cockroaches, whatever.
Cryptic Secret, I found your channel the other day and I love your content. I work at a local haunted house where we had to close this year through COVID. Thanks for the great content.
We had to close too, which is why I have time to make content. All right, so this is one layer now of gray. The black I put on, of course, dried black. And then I dry brush some gray on there. And this is a lighter gray. Well, you know what? I'll do one more of the dark gray. And I'm dry brushing. So I am not going to let this get in these deep crevices. Come a little closer. Don't be shy.
Stone Farmer says, hey, I made the outdoor statue with canvas tarp and adhesive, scary customers as they come into my department at work.
Awesome.
Celeste Kitty, I saw a thing about using mortar mix to use paper mache weatherproof, so I got a box. I will also write down said method of using it, so now I have a box of mortar because I'm a genius.
Yeah, mortars, okay, it works. It doesn't have a lot of strength on its own. It's kind of brittle, so as long as you're binding it with something like a good fabric, you should be okay.
Celeste, Todd Godfrey, make the cabinet leaking blood. And thanks for all the good advice. Milton Knowles, funny that you would say put body parts in, because I have been looking for a place to put bird wings and dried apples.
Yeah.
Jake Farmer says I have a new short video about something I built for this Halloween coming soon.
Sweet.
He says I would say octopus, muscle suit, and dragon wings.
Yeah.
And then Jones says hello.
Hello. When you are dry brushing something, Alexa, stop. It is important to remember that you are, I wanted this mask to be a dark gray mask with black depths, not a black mask with gray highlights. And now that told me that this is dry and we jump project. I've had several people tell me that they can't watch the lives because of how I jump from one project to the next. That's just how it is, what you have to do. So this will do a couple things for me. This is going to, A, glue this seam up in the back. B, it's going to hold my metric.
Jordan says, I would say octopus, muscle suit, and dragon wings. He said that. Captain Marga, hello.
Hello, Captain Marga.
Could you inflate a balloon inside the power wash pumpkin to exclude the latex molding?
No. It's simply because the latex, you need something more rigid than a balloon. A balloon is not going to be stout enough to keep the latex from taking over.
John C. says, I could never work in an office, so just the plain filing cabinet is scary enough.
Yeah, no kidding. Just label it taxes.
Crazy House says, working on multiple projects at once is faster and are perfect for those of us with ADD.
Yeah.
Diana Haas says, did I miss much?
No. Well, yes, but it's okay.
Draven says, thanks for the inspiration and just go make stuff. I decided to make some voodoo tiki style masks from palm trees branches that fell in the yard.
That's so awesome. Yeah, don't limit yourself. Don't say, well, I don't have these materials, so I can't make masks. That's not true.
And Argo Davies, hello everyone. So which glue sticks would you use for a web maker gun?
Uline. Uline has the cheapest case of glue sticks around. And you buy a couple case, because we go through them. We really web the heck out of stuff. So I use Uline glue sticks. Warning, I think that the company Uline is actually run by a demon whose whole goal is to deforest the earth. And I've come to that theory based on how many catalogs they send you. And we're not talking like, hey, here's just the new stuff. It is a phone book a week that Uline will send you if you let them.
Nathan Jones, Alan says, Alan, thanks for answering to my email today. Came out with the form a little bit ago about to seal it up and fill it with foam.
Sweet.
Body Geeks, do you think trypophobia is too complex for an MC mask, monster camp mask?
No, not at all.
Diana Haas has got his trench coat. He's got a burlap.
Cool.
He's gluing burlap to it.
Awesome. So I have these LEDs, and I'm wiring them onto this Krampus mask. And I'm just doing that. I am making sure that the wires are the same. What I have to do now is I have to test. I should have tested as soon as I put them in here, because sometimes they, if you twist them wrong, you could mess them up. That one works. All right, that one works. Okay. Neat.
Do you test the 9-volt by touching it to your tongue?
No. I test the 9-volt by testing the LEDs. I am going to shorten this a little bit. These were a little long.
And Argo Davies, thanks for the heads up. I use all those catalogs to make junk journals and body parts.
Yeah.
John Lovell, John Lowell. When you think of a mask or a prop, do you use real life experience and things you have personally seen, or is it just imagination?
Oh, everything comes from reference. Everything comes from some kind of a visual reference. Our brains are not good at holding on to detailed imagery, and we need, I mean, if you think about it, that's the reason why pictures are impactful, because our brain can't hold on to that detail. So we're thrilled anytime we see a picture of something because it's showing us the actual detail that's there. We don't remember things that way. It is very rare for someone to have that good visual memory. So it almost has to be from references. But I'll take 5 or 6 different things and blend them together to make my own vision.
Is it distracting visually impairing to have LEDs too close to your eyes in the mask?
Yes, it is. So it's also dangerous if they're UV. These are red, so there's almost no UV light in them. But this mask actually has a socket. This mask has sockets for the LEDs well above the eye. See that? That's sculpted in. And I put the LEDs, out in front, so you won't even know that these are on unless you kind of put your hand up there and check. Now, in a dark haunt, you can use these like headlights. It's wonderful.
Brian Lippert says, yep, you can't see the lights at all inside the mask. And Brian bought a white Krampus.
Oh yeah, he did get a white Krampus from me.
He got it this summer.
Yeah. Hello, 163 people. Hi, everybody.
Lisa says, she says, our ghost too. She got the Ophelia ghost.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
She says, we love the LED eyes. Brian says, Brian Lippert, I'm happy to be wearing it the next 2 weekends. His white Krampus.
Oh, cool.
Jake says, Alan, what does LED stand for? Pop quiz.
Light emitting diode.
Milton Knoll says, what's your favorite horror movie, not including ghost ones, unless you really want to?
I don't really watch a lot of. Okay, so honestly, I don't really think of ghost movies as horror movies per se, or I put them in the same category as like people because ghosts are people. So my favorite horror movie. I'm thinking here. Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's really tough to beat that. That is such a beautiful movie that is very well done. So don't put your fingers right in this glue until it's dry, because that'll hurt if you have feeling in your fingers.
Buddy Geeks, plan on wearing a Still Beast werewolf costume on Halloween and stand still as the kids go by to get candy and then jump out and scare the parents.
Yeah.
Jake says, Shannon, it seems like your comment feed is a bit behind the real-time feed. 3 seconds. Stone Farmer, I count as 2, watching on TV and typing on the phone. I did like on both, though, and I don't want to be a freeloader. Thank you, Stone Farmer.
Thanks, Stone Farmer.
Edwina Kaufman says, I think my favorite horror movie is 13 Ghosts.
That's a good one. That's up there. I own it. Yeah, you probably are a little bit behind. It looks like. Check against the TV, honey. And also, Shannon is dealing with other stuff. She doesn't always like just stay on the comments. So sometimes she has to go back and then address comments that are later.
I'm also answering a lot of things behind the scenes.
Right, yeah. Because like people who are watching are also messaging Shannon with questions and stuff.
I will get to you, I promise. Start a drink by Arlene. Oh, I love that one, but what about Van Helsing? That's a fun movie. I like it.
I enjoy Van Helsing. It was fun.
What about Vincent Price's Legend of Hell House?
Fun.
Wonderful.
Good.
Milton Knowles, can't tell me what blues. You can't tell me what blues I can and can't stick my fingers in. I'm an adult. When I get 3rd-degree burns, I will.
That's right. Yes, you will.
Ashley NP, I was obsessed with Brahms' Dracula when I was a kid, long before I was probably old enough to be watching it. Ashley, you and me, both. Because Gary Oldman is beautiful. Jake says, new podcast with Eli Roth, History of Horror, has great interviews with lots of great names in the horror monster genre. Worth a listen. Cool. Thanks, Jake.
Cool.
DIY on Mike. My God, man. Tin your wires and solder heat shrink that glue. I can't read the rest.
No. See, here's the kicker, all right? I want this to be easily repairable because things happen in haunted houses. But also, so the wire is coated in thermoplastic. It's coated in thermoplastic. This is thermoplastic. So as soon as I twist them together solidly and then cover them back in this glue, it's like the wire is one piece again. I used to solder them, and I just don't see a big enough benefit to do it.
Your Crazy House says, I sit with a candy bowl in my lap and a plague doctor costume on here. I didn't move until people got close enough to take the candy. Scared the adults more than the kids. Body Geek says I need to be watching kid videos. He's right. But I'm not. Jerry Collins. Hey, Jerry. This is 161 people are watching.
Holy moly.
Hugo says, this week we use a fantastic American adhesive, Permatex Steel Wall Epoxy Titanium. We put a steel hook that holds 25 kilos or 11 pounds.
Wow, neat.
Jake says, or the chat appears to us all faster than the video. That's also possible. Catherine Dempsey, if you could pick only one glue stick, brand and type, what would you pick?
Well, right now it's this type. This is a made for rubbers. It's a very flexible black glue stick. And you can see how much like it really flexes. They're a little pricey, but it sticks to everything. I like what I can do with it. It's kind of opened up some doors, and it really holds together EVA foam very well. Okay.
1980, my neighbor's young daughter recognizes Billy in my yard, so I guess it passes. The pizza delivery lady was impressed with it.
Hooray.
From Hocus Pocus. Edwina Kaufman, talking about movies. John Lowell, Edward Scissorhands had great visualized good effects.
Yes, it did.
Stone Farmer says, had discovered Kim's Convince on Netflix, not PC, but a very funny show. Milton Knowles, do you think an Elon Musk mask would be too scary to use on trick-or-treaters?
No. They wouldn't know who you were.
I have no idea who you were thinking.
Yeah, they'd be like, I don't know who that is.
Laura Kirchable's niece Abigail is watching, just saying hello.
Hello, Abigail.
Abigail.
She's a makeup artist.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. I seen it. She does wound makeup.
Larry Hughes, first time using air dry foam clay on Jack in the Box mask I'm making here goes everything.
Why?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I don't know, Larry.
Okay.
Sure if I-
Larry, do the words.
First time using air dry foam clay on a the Jack in the Box mask I'm making here goes everything LOL. I read it word for word.
Okay.
Skin and Bones
That's
says,
great, Larry.
Time is money. John C. Alan, quick question. Do you like Scrappy Doo? I think I saw a DVD van.
Get out.
Dirk House.
Scrappy Doo, get out.
Dirk Crazy House says, Alan, don't stick your fingers in the glue. Immediately sticks fingers in glue.
I told you guys not to do it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do it.
Cryptic Secret. That's fantastic that you consider the wear and tear they will face in your haunt. I remember my first haunt season, I accidentally broke the main prop decoration in my room.
It happens.
A lot of geeks would like to know, did you get your 12-foot skeleton?
Oh yeah, it's in the other room. His head's already off, and I have his head apart, and I took out the LED screens and stuff. So I'm reworking him into a Cyclops.
DM Cash. I trust the fabric glue sticks from Hobby Lobby.
Trust them for what? It's not going to be as good as sewn, and then you have to worry about, because most people's hot glue guns just don't get hot enough unless it's a higher end industrial gun. So the dryer will undo a lot of that. Yeah, this has to be repairable by the haunted house itself. And while this hot glue is lovely, it will just kind of peel away because it's kind of gummy, bendy. Obviously it's hot right now, but even when it dries, it's very flexible. It doesn't have a lot of shear strength. Okay. Are you on the live feed now?
I am.
Yeah.
DM Cash says, I can't sew, I need a fursuit. So he's asking about the fabric glue sticks from Hobby Lobby, putting together a glue.
You don't need fabric glue sticks. Any glue sticks will work. The way that glue sticks work on fabric is, and a high temp glue stick is better. The way that they work on fabric is the glue, while liquid, goes in between the weave of the fabric, perfect for fur. And then when it dries, it creates a mechanical bond. It is a really good bond on fabrics, but the dryer will undo it. You don't put fake fur in the dryer anyway. So proceed. You'll be fine. I need to test out my helmet mask.
Dream by Arlene. The mantra here is hot glue is really just another set of hands while a real glue dries. Larry Hughes trying to get us. He was making a Jack in the Box mask from Krampus. Was just saying the first time using air dry foam.
Okay. There we go.
You show the back of it so you can see how battery is. Hugo says very cool.
Simple.
It would be so funny if you accidentally glued that mouse for your face. Are you sure you didn't glue that mask for your
Mask?
face?
It's possible. I've done worse.
Alicia F says the double eyes are creepy. Scott Colhart says nice.
When you know what, when you're wearing this and the eyes are on and you take a picture, you don't see your eyes at all.
Hugo says perfect. People are watching. You've been on 90 minutes.
Hello, everybody.
AFG 122602 says, do you use fog chillers in your lawn? And if so, what is your preferred method?
Froggy's Fog has a aqua fogger. I think it's called the Poseidon that I like. We bought fog machines that are chiller units. We don't use a separate chiller unit. Our haunt is fairly high end when it comes to technical stuff, so we don't have fog chillers per se. We have fog machines that are chiller units.
Lanny Williams says hello.
Lanny says hello.
Lanny.
He'll be here next week too.
I did, he did. I said, this is like, I've got Body Geeks and Scott Colhart. They're all going to be here next week. Neil Mashburn, what materials do you use to make tree props? Sonotubes and pool noodles?
I don't like using sonotubes for pretty much anything because they're cardboard. And when cardboard gets wet, it does bad things. So I prefer to use PVC pipe. And pool noodles are good, but if you're gonna do that, I'd probably use pipe insulation. Same material as pool noodles, but already black. We also do a spandex tree, which is just a spandex tube that you cut into strips, and then you can tie it off to the ceiling if you're indoors.
Robert White says it's getting there, looking good, Alan. I can't wait till November the 14th. That is Krampus time.
Yeah. Robert, do you know your plans yet for that? Do you know when you're coming into town and whatnot?
Yep, I just told him I need to talk to him. Looking for your email, Robert. I'm pretty sure I've got it.
And I'm going to go run this into the room with the fan so this will dry, and I'll continue dry brushing the werewolf. Okay. Take this gray werewolf. Gray again.
I got you.
Now I'll go in with the lighter color of gray here.
I got that.
And that's correct. Use a spray bottle of water like I do. So just use the wet spray bottle of water, and that's going to make your Loctite. That'll give your Loctite the moisture. The same with great stuff. And there is moisture in your air, just not a lot.
You might haven't gotten into a mask yet, do you do a good bit of rig light, LED and EL wire? Have you used EL wire and EL panel? It's fun stuff.
I have. Yes, I have. We did a show a while back. We had some Chronomancer characters, and we had L-wire all over their costumes and stuff. And they looked pretty cool, I will admit. Sometimes I think that LEDs can be a little cheesy, or L-wire can look a little cheesy. I think it all depends on how you use it. And sometimes cheesy is cool.
Milton Knowles would like to know, would you prefer a giant bacon sandwich for dinner or a chicken and cheeseburger? Milton, your questions are
Without doubt,
interesting.
if one option is cheeseburger, I'm going with the cheeseburger option. That's how I live.
Five Geeks, hey Alan.
Hello.
Get a chance to watch the property video and get an idea of what I'm dealing with?
I actually haven't yet, but I swear to you I will. Oh, yes, I did, actually. I did see that. Yes, looks great. I'm excited. I want to come visit.
Stevenson Cemetery, I got my LEDs from One Michigan on eBay, and I get the 9-volt ready ones.
I buy from Lighthouse LEDs I think they're in Washington State, and that's who I buy from. I just like it. They're an American company, and I know where they come from, and I can call them and talk to people, and yeah, I get 9-volt pre-wired LED. Pre-wired. That means they already have a resistor on them and everything.
Milton Knowles says, thank you. I now know what to have for dinner tonight and tomorrow.
Hooray!
Thank you, Scott Colehart.
I'm here for answering questions of the cheeseburger
Helping me
variety.
decide what to have for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheeseburger deep dish pizza with apple pie for dessert and a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Stone Farmer Lighthouse is on Amazon, I believe.
Are they? I just buy right from their website.
C. Young says, a morning show I listened to on the radio in Little Rock was talking about you. Pressure watching the video.
What?
What? This is, I loved it. What?
That's awesome. That's funny.
Okay, well that's neat. Wonder what that was. No way of knowing. Thank you, C. Young. That is cool. Had no idea what the show was.
I just drove through Little Rock a while ago. Had to go back and forth to North Carolina for a haunted house that's out there, Woods of Terror.
You can read the wild. Mike says, run blue EL wire under long white faux fur for an icy glow.
Yeah, I have put some LEDs in it before. I have put LEDs in the fur, and I normally airbrush a little bit of blue into my white fur stuff because it gives that nice icy look. Okay, I feel like it is 8:47 and I'm just now like starting to paint masks. And I need my glasses because I'm old.
Let's see. Milton Knowles says, I like your dog. My dog is trying to have a nap at the moment, too.
I actually have 3 dogs in the room with us. This is Cheney. And over here, we have Boris and Bella. That is not one broken dog. That is 2 dogs laying next to each other. I will not tell them who Bella, Boris, and Cheney are named after because they should be able to figure it out.
Tim Cohen says, thanks for, sounds like a haunted cheeseburger mask should be next. Delicious. Milton says dogs are the best. We agree.
A haunted cheeseburger, that's, you know, you think about it, farts are just like the ghost of food. I forget where I read that. But it's true.
1980 says Mayor McCheese is on.
Yeah, I try to make stuff that you can costume. That would be a little bit hard to make the rest of the costume. And again, I'm dry brushing, but I want a color with some red in it here under the eyes. And I want that a little bit under the nose because I want to show that there's blood underneath the surface of the skin there. And that gives it a little bit of life. Just give it a little bit of life. On something undead, I wouldn't do that. Their blood's not flowing anymore. A little bit of this pink up in the ears. And I'm going to rub that so it's a little calmer. But the ears are thin, so that blood really shows. Think about like a Chihuahua or something that's backlit. You really see that pink in the ears. You can even see all the blood vessels and stuff. Well, it's the same on werewolves, I guess. Same on werewolves as it is in Chihuahuas. I'm going to add some white to this light gray.
See, they were talking about pumpkin carving and told everyone you did it with a pressure washer, and they said it was awesome.
Cool.
AFG 122602 says that mask would be used for a lot of different things.
A lot of my sculptures you can do that with. A lot of my sculpts are good for several things. And I try to think about that some while I'm making them. I'll do a gargoyle out of this eventually.
Buddy Geek says the carving was so organic, it was amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? If I had drawn it out ahead of time, it would have been better. So next time I'll do that.
Crazy Hoss says a Chihuahua werewolf would be scary. I work at a vet hospital. They are the scariest breed.
You know what? They are like, thank goodness they're so small because they're just jerks. And forgive me, but Dachshunds are also kind of jerks. They're just high-strung, high-wired dogs, and they're more likely, in my mind, to be a little bitey and to be jerks. They tend to bind to one person as opposed to a whole family. They become their dog as opposed to a family dog. And yeah, that makes me mad. But yeah, if Rottweilers acted the same, they would be in jail all the time. Rottweiler jail. But luckily, most of the bigger dogs are pretty laid back. And when a dog gets real big, they get downright goofy, like Great Danes. Okay.
Rachel says that Chinese crested share the biggest a-holes. Milton Knowles, how important do you think it is to scare trick-or-treaters to the point that they drop their candy?
I don't. You know what? I'm the wrong guy. I don't deal with trick-or-treaters. Like, I'm a pro hunter. I haven't seen a trick-or-treater since 2003. I'm working. I do haunted house stuff, so I'm working at the haunt. And now we moved so far out in the country, I don't think we'd have a single trick-or-treater.
Milton Knowles says, the Crazy House says that Jack Russells Terriers are psychos. Jack Russell Terriers are psychos. Todd Daughtery says a pack of Chihuahua wolves. I think that would make a great movie. Body Geek says Chihuahuas and Dachshunds were the worst when I delivered FedEx. Haunting by design. I admit I work on props and such while I'm consuming the videos. Alicia Galicia, you are so right. I have a little dog. She's a Chihuahua, Dachshund, and Terrier mix and has the worst treatment of all three. She hates everyone.
Yeah, that dog sounds great.
Milton says, how do
Get
you
away.
steal candy from children if you don't scare trick-or-treaters?
I buy my candy in the store like a responsible adult.
The JLF 538LN says, I have 2 Jack Russells and a Chihuahua mix. Very smart, easy to train. Their bedtime is 8 o'clock.
I knew we were going to start a fight.
David Quintana, you make this look effortless. How long have you been doing effects?
Oh, a while. Since before I had the beard. I started doing like effects work, I guess, in 1995. So it's been a while. I just like what I'm doing. I have a huge love for monsters and a passion for masks and costumes and letting people become a monster and kind of walk around as that creature. So that is, I love it. So you were talking about, so I have this imaginary child, okay? And this imaginary child, let's just say his name is Timothy, because it's not uncommon for me to be buying something really weird for me to be buying. And then I can always say, it's for Timothy. And no one asks any questions. But that's just a kid that I made up that likes the same toys that I do, it turns out. Or candy. This second ice cream, that's for Timothy. It's not for me as soon as I get to the car. No, not at all.
Tarantula. Those types of dogs typically lack the stimulation they need. They're high-energy hunters that need to expend their energy and kill small prey. Most types of people who have those dogs won't do it. Milton Knowles says, stealing candy from the store like a responsible adult. Where's your holiday spirit? Chris Adamson. I love how you can improvise and think of things that are so simple, but nobody thinks of it. Creative mind.
It's, I view from a lot of sources, and I think if you can keep a good flexible mind, it's very helpful in many situations.
Tim says, dogs, my daughter's Chihuahua tried mating with her boyfriend's pit bull. No, you do not need a Chihuahua pit. Nate Hubbard says, my grandmother showed me the channel and I've been hooked ever since. I love your videos.
Awesome, thank you. You have a very cool grandma.
154 people are watching.
Hello, 154 people. Y'all keep my wife busy. Good.
Almost 95.
Okay, so now, I gotta black that nose. Black that nose! I probably could wait and I could do that with the airbrush later. I like my werewolves to have black noses. Why? Because dogs have black noses.
Haunting by Design says, I remember you without the beard.
It's been a while.
The Crazy House says, we had a client who adopted Shih Tzu that had been bred with a pit bull. They called them puppies. Well, bull, as you can imagine, puppies.
Aha! The great Greek hero Testicles.
Javier Alfaro, John Allen, big supporter of you.
Why, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and paint these teeth now.
Taylor says, Alan, watching you paint is very relaxing.
Hooray, I'm glad to hear that. We're just going to take these happy little teeth. Maybe we'll have a happy little cavity over here.
Buddy, he says, my 12-foot skeleton is carrying a limp wolf skeleton hanging upside down like a return from a hunt.
What'd the wolf do wrong? Dang. And I will stain these teeth later after everything is done. I'll be hairing this guy tonight too, I think.
Javier Alfaro. Also, my teacher said she knows you. I think she's a family friend, but I don't know for sure if she actually knows you.
I don't. What's your teacher's name? Let's start there.
Alicia F says, cat video breaker Shannon. She's more than earned it. Thank you.
Not while we're live. She can watch cat videos after. She has comments to look up. Come on now. There's 150 people asking questions.
Thank you, Khaleesi.
The wife had better be on it. She better work.
You better work. Very sweet. Cat videos fix everything. Gene Sanford.
Not as dry as I want to. So, we'll move on to something else. 4:30. That's what time it is.
Okay. Javier says Mrs. Pontu is her name. Samantha Pontu? That's,
He might not know her first name. I believe that we do know them. Yes.
I think I know who you're talking about, Javier.
Yes. Okay, so this is a boar that I sort of started painting earlier, and if I were a good person, I would be looking at visual reference, but I think it's generally brown enough to be a boar. I'm going to paint in these teeth here, and let's go ahead and we'll glue in some foam teeth.
Little Gypsy says hello. Their crazy house says, I want to see the boar mask.
Right here.
Oh, it is. It's Sydney Pontier. Yes, we do
Yeah.
know Sydney.
Yep.
Friends with her family.
Yes, we are.
Small world. That's great.
From forever ago.
Yeah. Samantha married, so yes, it's Sydney. Good family. Okay.
Okay, and again, I'm using contact cement. It's probably the best glue for this kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna, once it's contact cemented in, I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue it in also. Just to double check my base here. Alexa, countdown, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
And while that's drying, I'm going to paint these teeth. Because these are so bright white, they're foam, I'm going to paint these other teeth bright white, and then we can stain them all down at once. Janie, get out of there, buddy. Thank you. Can you guys see what I'm doing?
I'm afraid to use contact cement because I don't have anywhere with good ventilation, says your crazy house.
You don't have anywhere outside of your home? You don't have like a back porch or something that you can just take it out there to do the glue?
Bobby says, ALEXA, add disco ball to the shopping. Javier would like to know, how many years have you been in the haunt community?
I did my first haunted house in 1985. Let's just say I started in the haunt industry in 1995. That's when I moved from Maryland to Florida to work at a year-round haunted house.
What would you use to repair a tear in an old Mouse Post mask?
I would probably glue it from the back side with contact cement, and then I would use a little bit of thickened latex to patch the seam.
The crazy house says, I don't have a covered porch, and the weather has been nonstop rain lately. He doesn't have a garage either.
You could work like right next to the window and set up a fan blowing out where it's sucking the air from where you're working. That actually works pretty well.
Josh B. Alan, I like the video on the lawn statues, the one you sprayed bed liner. Gonna try to make mine.
Cool.
You will like this. Captain Marga is asking Tarantula about, they're talking about spiders.
Cool.
As we know, Captain Marga raises tarantulas.
Yes. And I know that a boar's eyes are almost black, but doing these as white is going to be better for the mask because the black eyes wouldn't stand out as much as I'd like. And then he's going to be ready for hair too.
Phase 2 effects. What is the name of the haunted house in Florida? Just curious because I worked a year-round haunted house in Florida as well.
Well, I used to work at Terror on Church Street and then at Skull Kingdom. Those are two that I used to work at in Orlando.
Mike Randall, where does the Lon Chaney Wolfman place on the list of your favorite werewolves?
Okay, so all right, it's one of my favorite werewolves because of it's so much started it all. But it's not one of my favorites because I really love the design or anything. But it's up there. It's up there. It is. It's one of my favorites. Boars actually have these like pits on the side of their face, and this was a good opportunity for us to use that to hide actor eyes. Actor eyes, I look at you and there's no surprise.
Phase 2 effects says, I worked Skull Kingdom.
Yeah? Well, when did you work? My last year there was 2000.
Milton Knowles says, have you had any teenagers or older with themselves in your haunted house, and how did you make fun of them? Milton?
What's that question?
Have you had any teenagers or older with themselves in your haunted house, and how did you make fun of them? Milton, I need you to clarify your question.
I think with themselves maybe is pee themselves.
Not what I got.
But our haunted house does 30,000 people in a season. We've had some teenagers or older. I make fun of them any way that I can.
Renee Taylor says, thanks for recognizing my grandson, Nate Hubbard. You made his day. He is amazingly creative, and I was hoping if he watched you, it would inspire him, and you would inspire him, and you didn't disappoint him. Big thanks.
Very cool. Well, you know what? I wish I had gotten started earlier than I did, and I got started pretty early. But still, even earlier would have been nice. I'm gonna... Boy, I have this mask that I'm working on. And I think I want to put hair on this, like out here, to kind of just blend in. I've got some nice brown hair that'll be good for that. And I'll try to give it a mohawk. That's what I'll do.
Cryptic Secret says, have you ever visited haunts in Georgia? I worked at Gates of Misery for the past 3 years.
Yes, most years I go out and I see Niger's Gate Haunted House in Atlanta, and I get to Netherworld in Atlanta every chance I can.
Phase 2 effects worked at Skull Kingdom in 2005.
Gotcha. So you were there during the Zia years. Luckily, I left right before Zia bought it. He kind of ran it into the ground. I'm sure that you were awesome, but Skull Kingdom was definitely in its decline by then, I think. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. I think he's ready for hair. He doesn't like the toilet seat to be down.
Toilet seat is up. Oh,
He wants the toilet seat up so he can drink out of it.
gross.
Yeah, gross. Let's grab some hair.
Tarantula asks. Phase 2 effect says, if clothes not long after if clothes not long after. Tarantula says, shrieking, jumping girls who scream at everything, annoying or fun targets.
They're the best. They're awesome. I love them.
Cryptic Secret says, I love Netherworld. It's definitely one of my favorite haunts.
I wish all of my haunt goers were in several categories. Agatha specials all the way.
Rob O'Brien, do you think a year-round haunt would be viable in Orlando now?
Yes. There's
Yeah.
people there. The year-round haunt is viable.
This dog is dead. He needs something to tear up. Give him something.
going to make a crazy noise. Okay. Yeah, you're about to hear a hellacious crunching for the next little while, gang. Sorry about that.
Kinzerish. Should I make a pirate mask with barnacles and seaweed on it, and just real grungy with the king crab on it?
Did you watch my pirate costume making video? I did that. Keep up, kids.
May Taylor says, sorry to say you didn't disappoint me. Keep making stuff, we love it.
Hooray!
Nathan's great.
I love that you love it.
Said it right? Yes, that is Nathan's grandmother. Rachel Powell says, my ferrets love playing with plastic balls.
With plastic what?
Balls.
Oh. Yeah, the dogs do too.
Kinzerish says, I missed the last part, sorry. So he's talking about a pirate mask with barnacles and seaweed.
Yeah.
Real grungy with king crab.
I think if you're going to do pirates, you got to do barnacles.
Crazy Hoss says, your pirate costume video was awesome. It gave me ideas for distressing mine.
Awesome. Quick, Robin, to the heat gun.
Mr. Gould, there's a small year-round pond in Old Town in Orlando. I don't remember the name off the top of my head now.
It used to be Legends, is what it was called. But now it is not that. It was purchased. Legends was run by some friends of mine, and I pretty much designed the interior floor plan. Alexa, stop. And if you went through Legends of Old Town, then you probably had to squeeze by my body because we used one of my tape forms in the hallway. And I was the fat one, in case you were wondering. The one that really squeezed you into the hallway, that was me.
The Crazy Hoss says, I got a skeleton fish and netting to add to my pirate costume this season.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tarantula says, I find the screamy girls pretty annoying myself. It's great to get a genuine scare, but I'm talking like the girls who shriek before they even get inside.
Nah, that's wonderful. They're priming the pump. That's where you really take it over the top and destroy them. They're ready.
Streaky Ghoul says it's now Morton Manor Haunted House. Bonnie says there's a year-round haunted house at Galveston as well.
Okay, and I'm going to say something here. Now, who was it? Was it Tarantula who talked about Screaming Girls? Do everything in your power to love your customers. It is so easy when you're working in the haunted house. It's loud, you're tired, you're hot, you're annoyed. It is so easy to hate the people going through. But they are the reason why you get to do it. So, I've been there. I've 100% been there. Do everything in your power to love your customers. Of course, scare them. That's what they're there for. But just work hard to not have hate in your heart while you're doing it. You should be able to be a monster who is a monster and scary on the outside, and inside you are full of joy. That is how you should spend your night in the haunted house. And endeavor to make it be that. Because you can. The only thing in the world we have control of is our emotions. That's the only thing that we can control. And my dog just tried to eat the tripod. Sorry. So when you're hot, when you're uncomfortable, when you're annoyed at customers, do everything you can to love your customers, even the ones that annoy you, because they're just there to have fun too. So just saying.
Phase 2 effects. My first haunted attraction I worked at was Savini's Terramania in Monsoon, Pennsylvania. Have you ever gotten to visit that one? Would it be still open?
No, but I did. I have seen a lot of the effects from there because he had an effects company about that same time. And no, pretty cool stuff. I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer. And I wish his effects company would have lasted a little bit longer because he made stuff for other haunted houses. And I got to move this while this is still pretty warm.
Cryptic secret. I love it when big groups of girls go through. I was in a room full of old glass dolls one year, and a girl tried to act tough until I threw one at the floor, and then she booked it.
Careful throwing glass dolls at the floor. I'm like, that sounds expensive. Ixnay on the oaken glass spray.
Talking about loving the customers. Tarantula says, I appreciate the wisdom. That is very good advice. I'm afraid I can't be full of joy. So maybe it's just not for me after all.
Yep. Probably not for you.
Hauntings by
I
design.
don't think that people who are in a dark place should work in a haunted house. You shouldn't. It amplifies everything. So no, you're right. Maybe step away for a while. Because all you have control of is how you handle things. And if you can't control that, you shouldn't be in control of a dark environment waiting on people to come in.
Waiting for you to come back.
Alexa, add silicone caulking to my shopping list.
Hello?
I'm low.
Silicone copy added.
Haunting by design. And only give 80% effort so you don't wear yourself out. That's the stance?
Yeah, well, I never said only give 80% effort. What I said was keep your intensity level at about 7 or 8, because then you're able to ramp it up. If you keep your intensity level at level 9 or 10, you're going to burn out. And then if someone comes in who you think you could scare if you tried a little harder, you don't have anywhere to go because you're already operating at level 10. So if you keep hovering around 7 or 8 on your dial from 1 to 10, then you should be good. Then you have some more in the tank.
Rudy, 2691. That mask is anything but boring. Mask is awesome. Keep making, and I'll keep watching.
Hooray!
Graffy UK says hello.
Hello.
From the UK. Hey, Graffy. Rachel Powell. That reminds me of the actress last night who screamed at me, "He'll steal your soul." I looked at her, just deadpan, and said, "I'm a redhead. I don't have a soul."
Yeah.
Body Geek says silicone isn't a disco ball.
Gingers ain't got no souls. That's right, it's not. That's very good of you to notice.
I'm so glad I offended you guys. I have learned a bunch. Thank you.
Hooray.
Larry Hughes. AMC is playing Eli Roth's History of Horror.
Great.
Thanks, Larry. I like horror documentaries or
I do too.
documentaries like that this time of year. Brian Demon. I love scaring people on Halloween, but I wonder if it loses some of its luster if you work a year-round haunt.
It absolutely does.
Good question.
What happened to me and I mean a true year-round haunt, where we were open every day but Monday, 6 days a week, year-round. And it absolutely does lose some of its luster. Like Halloween became just another busy weekend. So I much prefer a semi-seasonal, maybe do some off-season shows, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think we should be open every weekend. I don't think that's the way to go for the industry. Okay, I'm going to move this boar. I don't want to pair him on this. But before I do that, what's that?
Gene Sanford said Eli's done some decent films.
He has indeed.
Rachel says that hair is a gorgeous auburn.
It is indeed.
Haunting by Design says my ALAXA heard you order silicone and added it.
Hooray! It's good. You need some too.
The king! The king is here.
The king is back.
I'm back. Sorry, Mr. Beast. I was hospitalized for a week. I had heart problems and bad chest pain, but I'm back feeling better than ever. Hi,
Great.
guys.
Glad to hear it. That's what it's all about right there. Tusky, tusky.
They're crazy hostas. That boar is a ginger, no soul. I am scared. You are scaring the dogs.
I am doing them a concern. Come on, boy. It's fine.
King says that hog is great. The king says the hog from the Lion King, the warhog. Jerry says, screams, good way to scare people. Is screams a good way to scare people? Are screams?
No. Because screaming is a response to fear or a response to pain. That tells people around you that you are in pain, that you are afraid. Sometimes that will make you afraid.
Get it. That was close. Oh.
But it's not the best way to make them afraid. Go on now. It's not the best way. Es posible. No fantastique.
Cleaning up.
Plastic bottle. The other plastic bottle.
Here? Here. Okay. Lisa Aaron says bebop, Hakuna Murder. Baba Daza, hello. Baba Daza says, hey Alan, if you have to stop midway through a can of spray foam, how do you say that?
That project just cost you $3.50 more than it used to. Because that's about, well, honestly, depending upon the kind of spray foam. So maybe that project only cost you another $1.50 more than it would have. Throw it out. It's not worth messing with it.
Cryptic secret. I should have specified that the doll was ceramic and thrown into a corner. There wasn't any sharp shards. I could have my customers. I triple checked that nothing sharp was on the floor.
Just for the record, ceramic breaks just like glass.
Face to effects. Have you ever used silicone caulking pen with naphtha for a mask? I have 4 small appliances. I'm just curious to see if it would work for a mask.
Yep, works for a mask.
Angie Rogers says my cat just stared at my phone and looks the phone from the voice here, Vicky.
Sorry.
What's the name of the mask with a lot of teeth and eyes in the back of the red one?
That is a gibbering mouther. I forget if we named it before we put it on the website. I've got to look it up to see if it has another name. I don't know if we named it or not yet.
The Crazy Hoss says, I guess the dogs get used to all the masks. My wife wore a cat mask, face paint once, and it really freaked her cat out.
Yeah, cats get spooky.
Rachel says, if the boar hasn't been named, I think Hakuna the Murder is a great one.
That's a really long name. I think a shorter name would be good.
Baba Daza. Hey, Baba Daza saying hello to me. Alicia says, I love your dogs. They're always on guard. Especially love seeing them checking out the crying statue.
You know what I love, honey? I love when you tell stories.
Okay.
Come on. My wife is going to come here and tell you guys a quick story because I have to tinkle. You're up, baby.
Oh my goodness. All right. Quite frankly, I'm kind of amazed that he didn't go before that. Hi. For any of you who have been watching, we are still doing the Great Pumpkin Project, which is a project in which we are carving a pumpkin every night. Every night. It's crazy. And We take it somewhere spooky, and we leave it somewhere lit with an LED light in it so that people can see it. And it's a lot of fun. And so we've been having a good time with that. And if you are on our Facebook group, the Stilt Beast Creepers, every night we post the jack-o'-lantern there.
Still Beast Live.
Stilt Beast Live Creepers. So we are doing the Great Pumpkin Project, and there's a hashtag Great Pumpkin Project on Facebook and Instagram that you can follow, and that is a project in our massive spare time because we're not doing anything in October.
That's right.
But carving a pumpkin every night.
Yeah.
Every
Child's
night.
play. Easy peasy, as they say.
So check it out if you get a chance. All right, my turn.
Oh, why? She's pointed at the ceiling. I did pop the seal. Yeah. Okay. That mummy. You like the mummy, huh? Yes, that's what we do. We leave it in a random, like, spooky place. For people to encounter it and remember, like, the spirit of Halloween. This is really not wanting to come out.
Oh, well, Wolfmen they posted one. Live for a second to take the pic. Great. I want to see. Boars to Death is a good name. B-O. Board.
Yes, that is a good name.
Let's see. Killer Hog would be a great name. Rachel Powell loves the mummy. Hog Killer. That would be a great name for the match.
I'm worried that this tube of silicone is solid. Is that just too much pressure? Maybe it'll come out now.
Lisa S. said that would be cool if it was a craft pumpkin and you signed it. Hello, Jenkins the cat has joined us.
I think it's cool even though it's not a craft pumpkin and we don't sign it. I think it's cooler for folks to just go be out and then find a wild pumpkin, you know? A lit jack-o'-lantern. How awesome and scary romantic is that? Okay. I must find other silicone. I think that black silicone is tired, it's too expired, so I can't use it safely. Because it may not cure.
Alan, have you ever had a day with no inspiration?
No.
Have you ever had a day with no inspiration?
No. Not at all. No. Like I don't, and I'm not saying this because I think I'm awesome. I think my brain is broken. It's rare for me to have, you know, an hour where I'm not thinking of something that I want to do. And then I have to, you know, manage all the things that I want to be doing. That's hard. I'd rather just not have a ton of ideas, you know. I got these guys. These guys are good. Go on, out of here, doggos. I have some ultra clear. That'll work just fine.
Hey, Sue says, I love your Godzilla toys. Okay.
Oh yeah, my fridge guardians.
Alicia says, it's totally cool that you do it all, but some kid keeping it would be awesome. Baba Daza says, it's like an art gift, all the best time of year. And I said, people do take them. You place a pumpkin and go back and see it, someone's already taking it home.
Yeah.
So kiddos do that in one way or another.
And adultos.
Alicia, yeah, I think people just like them and take them home, which is fine too. I think that's lovely. Let's see. Pete Sanford, no, I love it. Always sketch ideas, write down stuff, draw, grab stuff, start projects.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even do that anymore. Most of the time, I just let the idea happen and then go. And then if it's meant to be, it'll come back to me 20 more times, and then I'll listen to it.
So kids take our pumpkins and wildlife eat pumpkins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because we put them in woods and stuff sometimes, but not like in the woods, like from a road or something. But still, there's a lot of wildlife around where we are who will happily munch a pumpkin.
Alan, have you ever made a mistake on a mask and had to start over?
Very few mistakes would make you have to start over. I'm going to say yes, I probably have, but that was before I was better at fixing issues. You never get to a point where you stop making mistakes. You just get better at fixing them. Who are you saying is a good boy?
Shane.
Don't lie to that dog.
He's a good boy. My buddy. Oh my goodness, 159 people are here. You've been on 2 hours. Man, it's awesome. Y'all, you know, it's Saturday night and they're spending it with
They've
us.
decided to spend their Saturday night hanging out
With us.
and making monsters.
That's awesome.
I agree. And this is just track hair that you use for hair weaves. And I really love it for masks.
JLR says, good to know and great advice. Alicia, thanks for the reminder. I need to go to the store and buy hair to add to my skeleton folder.
Yeah.
Skeleton folder.
Beauty supply store. Gotta love it.
Decompressed file size is the name of this person. What a fun name. Literally making an armature for a monster right now.
Cool. Awesome.
Gene Sanford says, I drop by every Saturday night. That's my night off. I work along on my own stuff. That's cool, Gene.
That's awesome.
Glad you're here.
Can you reminisce about encasing your head in plaster?
Angie Rogers. That, Gene, I'm sorry, but that's
Hilarious.
it's not funny, but the way you told it is funny. I'm sorry, that's funny. Angie Rogers, this is a lot better than being at my job making brake parts for cars.
That sounds like a
Jason
fun job.
Agostini, hello. Hey, Jason.
What's up, Jason?
Caught a podcast with you as the guest today. It was the one you did with Uncle Monster. I love how you have helped inspire artists and help all of us become better at what we do. Thank you.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? That's what you want to be doing.
Ryan F. I'm making a gnome actually, but the making is the important part, right?
Yeah. Hey, gnomes are fantasy creatures.
Gene, yes, the panic, the panic.
If it wasn't allowed to be on Noah's Ark, then it's a monster. That's how that works.
Oh, Gene, you're funny. Baba Daza says, Shannon, your story about Alan buying something and texting you is priceless. Guys, I'm telling you, this happens. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
He has done this.
It worked like the first 20 times.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, she's pretty wise now.
20 times now, I got smart. Where's Steve Haynes? This would make him crazy.
I don't know. He might say I'm doing it right. You never know.
Big D Haunter, what would you consider the minimum square footage for a professional haunt?
You know what? I have been in professional haunts that were 1,500 square feet. So it all depends on how you want to haunt. There is no minimum. A haunted house is a reflection of its owner. So if you want to tell a nice story and you think you can do it in 1,500 square feet, then that's all that you need. If you think that you need 50,000 square feet to tell your story, then that's how much you need. It all depends on you and your style of storytelling and how you want to get that across.
At the beauty supply store, you say it's for your son, like extra ice cream?
Timothy gets this. That's right. Timothy, yeah,
That's for
he likes the
Neil-
hair extensions, Timothy.
Neil Meshburn.
That's what he likes.
Mike Randall. Do you make notes of all of your ideas, even though they might not be used?
No, I just keep them in my head.
You didn't make notes.
I'm not a writer downer, but I keep a Rolodex in my head of ideas and things. Every now and then I'll talk to somebody and they'll say, I really want to start a haunted house company. You know, what can I do? And I'll say, what's your proclivity? And they're like, well, I like to do electronic stuff. Okay, here's products right now that don't exist that they need. And I will just give them all of those ideas so that they can make them. It's more important for me to have the industry have those products than it is that I'm the one to make them.
I think Body Geeks has got a lot of ideas because he just said he's going to need more land.
Yeah, how goes? That was a little bit of spray adhesive to stiffen this up, and that'll dry. That'll be nice. This stuff, I don't think I'm going to do any more hair. I'm just going to tease what's here and run that around. You grab my teasing comb.
Big Haunter says, I guess I could start with a one-liner. As far as asking about the size of the square footage of the haunt, and you asked about what your story is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, if you have one tractor trailer car in order to tell your story, then you do an appropriate story for that.
Jason, I'm sorry.
You have to make what you have work.
Jason Agostini says, I'm getting a bebop vibe from your sculpt, and Lisa says that she loves the colors on this mat. Lisa likes metallics and oil rub, bronze.
Yes.
She likes it. Phase 2 effects. Do you think a single theme haunted house would work as opposed to every room being a different theme?
Yeah, of course it works. Yeah. Now, see, I have settled into where I am a park specialist. Most of my work has been before dark hour at parks where there were 4 or 5 different haunts on property. When you have 4 or 5 haunts on property, then each one kind of needs its own identity, so each one needs its own story. If you are a single standalone haunted house, then you don't really need that. You can have a clown room and then a funeral room and then a Bigfoot room. You know, you can have all those different disparate events. Disparate? Not desperate. You can have all of those things be different. But if you are, in a park and there's 5 haunts there, then they each need to have their own identity, and they can't all have a library. One has a library. Which one? Well, probably the manor themed haunt.
JLR, what kind of glue can I use on a box Halloween mask? It just needs more hair.
Contact cement is good. Clear silicone caulking, like I just used, is good. Because he was a part boar, part man, and this is a part boar, part man. Yes. So he will look a bit like you, Bob.
Alicia says, well, he does right now, but he'll be different in a minute.
We're closing in on this guy. Going to give it a nice little general darkening of this hair. Not quite as, I want it to have auburn bits, but not be auburn all the way. Now I'm going to do some general shading with the airbrush. I'm going to back you guys up a little because you're a little close, you're freaking me out. Why is this so loose and rocky? Like you guys are... Pardon me, kids. Help any? It did. Okay.
Jacobson's Augustine says, the detail on the face is awesome. Renee Taylor says, I missed how you made the tusks. What are they made of?
I did a silicone caulking mold for them. And then these are actually Loctite foam. I sprayed some water inside of the mold.
Mama Donna just said, probably Loctite.
Yep.
You're adding soul, so he's not a totally soulless redhead.
Right.
Must love seeing you come.
They do.
Alan, have you made a video on how to mold with silicone caulk?
Yes, I have. I'm getting happy with that. Got to do a little bit more work on these tusks, but my Krampus is probably dry. So let's set him off to the side. You know what? I got 15 minutes until 10. I'm just going to finish the boar. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's the best use of my time, is finishing the boar. And that means that tomorrow I will go live and I will hair the Wolfman and I will paint and hair the Krampus. So those tusks are still so bright white. We're going to calm those down a little bit. And those I can actually spray paint with the glossy wood tone. This can is almost empty.
Hey, Justin Reedy says hello. It's a beautiful, very nice, awesome mask. I love the colors. You nailed it.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful and terrorizing. It's amazing. That's insane. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that would make a gnarly tattoo design, says JT Alpha. Little Gypsy says when you do the shading, it really comes to life. Right, Dean. The mask I normally wear on Halloween has mesh over the eyes, which looks fine at night, but I've noticed that people take flash photos of me and my eyes are noticeable. The mask I normally wear on Halloween has mesh over the
Yeah.
eyes.
Are there fake eyes in it, or are your eyes supposed to be black pits? That's my question for you.
He says I've started closing my eyes to hide this in photos. Would you have any suggestions?
I do. I have a couple. I want to know which one is it. Is it your eyes, or are there fake eyes on the mask?
Good night, Jerry.
Good night, Jerry.
Is that a He-Man mask behind you? The Beast Man.
Yes. That's Beastman right there.
Justin Moody says my goal is to get at least 2 molds, maybe 3, and I'm getting close. Work has been interfering with my time. Riot Demon on the eyes is black pit eyes. Screen eyes, his answer is black pit eyes.
Okay. I got you. Then there's a reflective spray from 3M. All right, 3M is a aerosol spray can, and it's meant to be reflective. Okay, when light hits it. So what you do, but it's clear. It's pretty clear. You take that when the mask is off of you, and you shade up really good, and you just spray your eyes, the eye screen. Spray the eye screen. You'll still be able to see out of it just fine. But then when they take a flash picture, your eyes will be, the screen will be shining super bright. It's pretty remarkable. I really love that stuff. Because, yeah, that is a problem. I've encountered it before, and that's how I solve it.
Big D Haunter says I made a pair of aliens with your real garbage bag scarecrow technique. They're animated too. I get more mileage from them than the people down the street with a few hundred in SFX.
That's pretty cool. Awesome. Simple techniques are a good way to go. Wife, you're falling behind. You're supposed to have pictures of all the finished masks up on the website, and this board is just about done.
Wow.
You better get to work, wife.
Golly, you better get to it.
Yeah. Golly.
Golly.
She says golly when she's serious. Sorry, you guys are just looking at me stare at the ground. I'm cleaning off a... Good night, Ken. I'm cleaning out a bottle here so I can spray clear coat on this. They're clear, gloss clear the eyes. And they have like kind of weepy eyes, so I'm doing a big area under the eye. And for some reason, these are a little weepy too. I don't know why. And then his nose, I will say, is going to be kind of wet. We'll wet up everything inside of that mouth.
Gene Sanford says the OT advice to artists. Keep KISS.
Keep it simple. Sunshine.
Justin says, I was thinking about doing an evil rabbit inspired mask. I know you have made some before. What is a good fur for it?
Honestly, just the nice white 1.5 inch white shag is really good for it. That's what I use. It works pretty well for me. So, gang, this is
Hey,
Born to be
Hayes.
Wild or Born to Murder or whatever the name was.
Good night, Body Geeks.
Yeah, this boar mask is done. So, let's work over the pricing of this. Honey, do you know how much this blank is? Didn't you have a picture of the blank up? It's a big blank. So most blanks are 30, but bigger blanks are 50 because it uses more material and it's more wear and tear in me to lift a heavier mold. So this might be, if that's the case, then he is going to be a $100 mask, and then he has tusks, which are separate and molded separate, so that adds 25, and then he has hair, which is separate and added separate, and that adds 25. So this would be a $150 mask. My pricing is pretty easy to figure out. If this were like a normal size mask, it would be 75, and then you'd add the 25 twice for 25 for hair, 25 for separate molded tusks, which I have to pour up 2. So, yeah, but I think this guy's pretty good. It's $9.51. I don't have time to do anything else and finish it by 10.
What would you suggest for practicing with an airbrush? Another airbrush.
Well, yeah, we're going to have an airbrush lab, hopefully in November, another one. But worst case, I think we can try and keep one in January. But get yourself some construction paper and your airbrush and use water, because the water is going to hit the construction paper and it'll change the color because it gets darker, and water is free and won't clog your airbrush.
Would you wear a hoodie under the boar mask?
No, I would actually just let someone with long hair wear it. It's not like it's... if my hair were a little browner and I wasn't so old, kind of blends in pretty good. And if somebody wanted, I could add more hair, longer hair.
Are live streams on the same nights every week, or does it change?
I don't live stream on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Any other night is a really good chance I'm going to be live.
He is making the third graveyard statue, but this one I'll wear on.
Sweet.
Big D says $150, you're letting someone steal that from you.
That's how much it is. My prices are pretty reasonable. Come in here together. I'm always tempted when I finish, when the black is dry on one of these Krampus masks. I just love the way the red eyes look on just a black mask. I love that. Hard to beat. But this will get horns and hair tomorrow night, and this guy will be done. Tonight we wired it up. We mounted it to an EVA foam helmet. So turn off our fans in here. Nothing is drying right now. Now this, to turn this off, just unhook the battery. You can see that is zip tied through the foam helmet to hold all those wires in place. This guy comes in here and he's going to join us. Tomorrow we'll make him into a full monster.
Boar looked great and warm. It's a very reasonable price. Walking in there and seeing him would freak me out. What do you suggest a costume for the Boars?
So, the reason why this mask exists is there is a couple old sword and sorcery movies from the 80s. is called Darkstalker, Darkstalker 2, and in those, there is a like barbarian type boar character who has the head of a boar, and there's this big tournament thing where they all fight. But I always thought that that big boar-headed character looked awesome, and he looked a little more piggy, like a second edition orc kind of. No, first edition D&D orc with the pig heads. But honestly, like a butcher apron would be nice, like a leather apron would be really nice. And then I'd make some fake hooks to hang from a chain on the belt. Give him a big cleaver, that would be good. Or you could go a little more fantasy with it and make him a little more barbarian with like big shoulder pads and fur and stuff. There's a lot of ways to go with it.
How would you add lights to an already existing mask?
That's going to be a lot harder. The ones that I add LEDs to, they have sockets already in them for the LEDs, so it's pretty simple. But you have to find a spot on the mask where they'll fit, and then like above the eye, because they can't go right over the eye, of course. And then you just wire them up, poke them through, glue them in, and do what you can do. You might do a EVA foam forehead piece on the inside of the mask, and then that way the wiring is in between the latex and the EVA foam, and it's not up against your skin.
Draven says, I'm trying to figure out, why is it easier when the boss lady wants a new prop? It's much easier to convince her I need new tools for it.
Hooray! That's how that works.
Dreamed by Arlene says, Monkey King movies have very cool pig/boar monsters.
Okay, I'll look at those. Monkey King movies. Interesting. And now I want to do one of these in albino. Albino with like some scars, like he's a zombie boar monster guy. But anyway, guys, that was tonight's live. We made a boar mask. We painted a Wolfman. We wired up the Krampus and got him all based out. And then tomorrow night I'll have the Wolfman finished and I'll have the Krampus finished. And I'm cracking on a Gravedigger too. So lots of fun stuff coming up. We will be live tomorrow. I'll probably go live a little bit earlier, hopefully about 5 o'clock, and maybe stop a little bit earlier. So just be prepared. I have a flexible schedule on the weekends. Monday it should be 7 to 10 p.m. like normal, and Tuesday I'm off. Well, not off. Tuesday I shoot YouTube Wednesday. So like it's a big deal. Adam Savage does a lot of like one-day builds. Every YouTube Wednesday that you see is a one-day build. It all happens in one day, editing and all that. So it takes the whole day. But and then Wednesday live, I'll be live sculpting. Thursday, I'll be off. I'll be getting ready for Monster Camp, but I might go live. We'll see during the day. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Wife, do you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody.
Any comments you have to read to me before I'm going?
I say good night to you and the puppies.
Okay.
Good night.
All right.
Say good night.
Okay. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for those who super chatted. I know that at $15, but it adds up, you know, and it does mean a lot that you guys like the content. I appreciate it, and eventually we'll get a Patreon going. But you guys are awesome. Have a great night. Go make stuff.